established. So at this time, Commissioner Lake, can I ask you to give the invocation? Pledge the flag.
Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day. We thank you for all the opportunities you give us. We thank you for the rain we've had and the pretty weather. Be with the court and the people in our county and help us to do the things that will be the best thing for the county. In Jesus' name we pray.
Amen. Thank you, folks. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to the Texas, one state, under God, one indivisible. So thank you everybody for being here this morning. Starting off our usual day. Yeah. This is the last regular commissioners court meeting before the eclipse, and we've been planning for this for about 2 years now. You know, our early estimates talking with other cities in the last 15 years that have had eclipse events is their total population 5 to 10 times the day up. So it's, you know, Hillsborough about 10,000, that's 50 to 100,000. The county, we could have that population, but we may not. That's another. People planning on it. We need those a lot of in this case scenario. Part of it thinks that it probably won't get that many folks here, but we've got plans for the case they do. One of the things that we have not taken action on, but something, as I mentioned a while back, is what we were going to ask of our commissioners on Monday is to have somebody available and to have a name that we can call over the weekend. Somebody, if it's one day on Thursday, one day on Friday, one day, you guys work Thursday. Well, you guys work Friday anyway. So Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, just provide the name to emergency management. So if something does happen, that's who we need to call as first point of contact. That's basically what we mean by a call. I don't think anybody needs for anybody to have the crews there at the site on hand. There's no need for that. We've got a lot of our star request was granted by the state of Texas, so we pre-staged a bunch of barricades and road cones at the textile office that we will get a moment's notice. The basics on that is, well, what's the worst thing that happened? It runs, and you have 10 times population here. And Uncle Google leads everybody astray. And we decided we're going to start exiting stage right and go down and pull our roads. You guys know that let take a lot of traffic on really muddy roads. Sometimes don't take any traffic at all. And somebody's driving. So the reason that the barricades and tunnels, we have to do road closures, things like that. We have those scheduled to it.
We didn't pick up some. After yesterday, the day before.
But anyway, I've got no intention of declaring a disaster at this time. There is no disaster. It doesn't, a declaration of disaster like the Twin Southwest did, does not give you access to any more resources. It just cried wolf when you get a need to cry wolf. I'd rather it would be an actual disaster before I declare them. We said that we were going to look at burn ban. Yeah, we looked at it and promptly didn't put it on the agenda, and then got another 2.5 inches of rain for not doing it. I think at this point, there's no way we could justify burn ban. We can't do it under the local government code for sure, because we're not in drought situation as filed by the Keep Fire and Drought Index. And number two, we're not going to do under 418 of government code declaring a disaster, because this knowledge disaster does not exist in this county. We're going to play things close. We've got some incredible planning that's going on, some incredible people, great groups of folks in Hill County. I can't say enough about Tom Hemrick and his team. What they've done, which Chris Jackson has been instrumental in helping us prepare for things. We've got good communications, we've got good plans. The JPs have worked. If for some reason the jail were to have full, we need to do offsite magistration, we've developed a plan for that. You know what? That might be a plan we use at some point in the future. So I'm glad we did it. We have developed so many different scenario plans for so many different things that I'm at a loss now. And I mean, please, world, don't take this as a challenge. As to what could happen, we didn't think about. Yeah. Not on wood. So I think what we're going to do is have a good time. We're going to have a lot of people here. I think the majority of people that come to this from every indication are good folks, the kind of people we want to have in the county. So my hope and prayer is that everybody has a good time. Say, go get your gasoline weekend, the week before, get some groceries. And stay home with your loved ones. Enjoy the circuit. Enjoy the eclipse. So anyway, updating this end from everything else, construction wise, next Tuesday I've got a punch list walkthrough with. Sorry, I got
punch list walkthrough over at Covington Street. We'll also do the punch list walkthrough on the chiller project. It's all done except for commission. The manufacturer of the chiller comes back out and says, yes, it's all set up the way it's supposed to, and warranty's good. So that's what we've got going there. The other things we'll talk about later in this meeting, including AgriLife building. Then I hate to say this, but it's in March. I'm gonna work with budget. So start looking at your budgets. 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 Yeah, it's a budget time already for us. So yeah. You got nothing to look at. Gotcha. Okay. Making preparations for what we're gonna do next year. We got ideas how we'll change things. We're open to that. We've got ideas that we need to allocate resources differently. We're open to that. So. Otherwise, it's a pretty nice spring, pretty wet spring for the first time in a couple of years. Never been this wet since about 12. So anyway, what's happening in precinct 1 today, sir?
Well, there's a lot of water in precinct 1. There's a lot of roads that are blown out. There's a lot of culverts that have reared their heads that need to be replaced. I just placed another order for another $15,000 worth of culverts. And we've, when it rains like that, you can tell where you've got to go replace it. And we done doing that over the last couple of days, and identifying. We were able to put blades out on the roads today. Just dried out enough, but man, what an uphill fight.
Seems like 2 steps forward, 1 step back.
Yeah. There's
What's going on in precinct 2?
Yeah, the same thing, still patching roads and hauling rock when it's available, which been lucky lately. So far, so good. Mark on wood, but that's about it. Little maintenance yesterday while it was wet. Thank goodness we got a nice barn before putting it in and working.
Good deal. That precinct 3, Commissioner.
Well, we're hauling rock today, like Humphrey said, we did a little shop work yesterday, maintenance with everything, and had a successful sale last week. And so this week we're trying to move all the equipment out and make sure everybody gets what they bought, and make sure things go where they're supposed to, and get that cleaned out. Hopefully, the solar farms, hopefully, they're about through with the rock. I talked to him about 10 days ago, and he said they like about 2 weeks, so hopefully they're getting towards the tail end of this deal. So
I noticed the one east of Peoria that they hadn't been farming it, and somebody came in last week and planted corn all over it. So I guess they're gonna put that project off for another year now.
Looks like it to me. I have had no contact with those folks. They've been ready to sign, but we're several of these projects that we want to approve of the road use agreement. They have not built. It's been years. That precinct 4 commission.
We're just trying to get things lined up in fall, ever since the freeze. And we're just about to get that fixed, and so now we've got to take some of the thin spots and put them up, so. Which is never ending process. And as more people move here, they're wearing the roads out faster than they used to, so.
Yeah, same money, but it goes far.
I think Larry's gonna get you 10% this year, and I'm not gonna second that.
Do what now? Oh, yeah, okay.
Justin, what's happening with Constable? You
We're this year, if you compare last year to this year, we're almost 100 papers more this year than we were last year. I see Kevin's log on. The precinct 1 has actually gone down 3. The rest of this is all increased 30 to 40 papers. It's just keeping them head above water, trying to knock them out as quick as we get them.
Are we seeing any increases in evictions? I asked that question because that's sometimes part of your good economics come to the brain. Steady.
Precinct 2, I think we're actually down this year on evictions compared to last year. And it's been more of the typical apartments, I feel like there's a lot of people that try to get around the system. We get an apartment, pay for 2 months, live in it for free, and they finally kick us out. Unfortunately, there's a lot of that.
Okay, I appreciate that. Rachel, anything in the treasurer's office?
People's quarterly reports, typing up job descriptions, we're almost finished. And then we are doing the trial run with the auditor's office and Nathan Philip and his staff. We're trying multiple different avenues to see what works for the electronic version. We're trying it while we're in the building to just stop over across the mall. To prepare for when they move. So I encourage all of the departments to interact with them and try the same, and see what we're going to do.
Good deal. Thanks for letting me know that. Anything happened with the SO this week?
We've got 3 in training at the program, just to be in full staff, so with the increase in salaries and everything, that's
Thank you. Hopefully you get
good
this.
shape. Yes.
Good, thanks for that. Philip, what's going on IT?
We finally got we finally got the camera installed with the cell block museum.
Yes,
So that it's online, the neighbors have access to it, so they can see what's going on over there. We are, I guess, waiting on furniture to move some of the folks from the auditor's office over to the.
and I've got an update for you. Talked with Carson yesterday morning, and that furniture should be in the end of this week.
Okay.
Hopefully.
And Friday's a holiday, so okay, we'll see how that.
Yeah, maybe, you know what, I'm next week. How about that?
Other than that, the sound system, auxiliary courtroom, I've got an install date for Nashville. They're gonna be out, April 17th through the 19th. to install the sound system.
Good, good. Well, thank you. Tom was having emergency management.
Honestly, Judge, it's just eclipse. But leave here, we go to the Hillsborough planning meeting. I think we planned all we can plan. It's just, I got another submission last night, late from 100 to 300 people, but it's just outside of Hillsborough. So, there's gonna be a lot of people. There's no doubt about that. We'll just deal with that. Can I ask you a question? What was the resolve on the TxDOT camera yesterday? We got an email of
Well, the result was I didn't ask for that change, they did. So I had to shoot that back to them. So I didn't ask to change the language. You guys proposed that, Jacob Chow. So I'm trying to get clarification on, hey, I'm fine with you with the language.
So anyway, that's one of the main things we're concerned with is having a way to monitor where the traffic is backing up so we kind of know what to put into place.
I need to ask you a question, I need to do so. Did you get any headway on the camera on top of this courthouse? We have a 360-degree view of the courthouse square. Or is that a Chris job? I need to.
No, that's not, it's both. It's just low on the priority list. We've had a lot going on. The Huron Tower has taken a lot of, there was a mistake made by a certain company that brought that tower down. They are there this morning fixing that I'd say probably by noon, the Huron Tower will be back online, we didn't realize how much that had really filled in the gap, but it really had. So there's just been a lot of things going on, and again, we've had a lot of meetings that we've been trying to be a part of, to make sure that everybody is on the same page. So, and just a little bit from the conference last week, I went to the floodplain conference, and one thing that is a global problem in the state is the exponential growth. I mean, from the floodplain perspective, when you build and you make water go a different direction, it causes water to flood in places that's never flooded before. And that seems to be a real big problem, not just in our area, but in everywhere, especially in big cities. But anyway, it was a great conference, and there was a lot of good information. So I appreciate y'all teaching me the Texas pledge, because I was one of 5 people in that room that really knew it.
We ain't pleased.
It was amazing to be in a room with 400 people and there's 5 people saying the pledge, because they just didn't know how to do it. So I kind of felt proud.
There you go. Anything in the county attorney's office this week?
Not other than what we're talking about today.
All right, good deal. Well, at this time, is there anybody here that would like to speak to the court? So open forum, so it's your opportunity to address the court on any matter. If you could limit your comments to about 3 to 5 minutes in duration, and as we respect you, please show respect to the court. Yes, sir.
I've got, I don't know, got some pictures and things I'd like to try to show y'all some where I live at, because he knows where I live at.
Okay.
They come out, a guy come out, what was it, Monday or last week, with a machine that had a big old blade like that, that would take and go like that and then turn up and trim like that. Well, he come down Cedar Way and he pretty much cleaned the area of all the stuff that's sticking over in the drive, like over in that road right there. Okay. Then it kind of left a mess going down because of all the stuff he was cutting, left a breather in it. Okay, it made it cleaner. Okay, now I'm gonna see if I can find some pictures here. But I don't know how to work this thing sometimes. Can you tell me where you find photos? I don't have glasses on. It's like photos. Yes, sir. You can just touch it. I'm not very good at this either. I'm better with the record camera.
It didn't. Cut and chip it. Cut and chip it.
Same photo. I'm sorry. I'm new at this too. I like the camera. Settings, software. Messages.
So there's some debris in the bar ditch.
Yeah, in the bar ditch and everything. But what I was gonna try to show you, I'm trying to show you the disaster that people have left. They have moved out there and have left their trash. It looks
For the rest of this, well, I didn't ask your name, forgive me.
Larry Dyer.
Mr. Dyer, thank you. Where do you live at?
I live on Lake Whitney Estates on Cedar. Now I'm trying to figure out, because if you Google Cedar Way, it comes up Cedar Drive. So somebody in this county's got to tell me, because if you Google it, something comes up Cedar Drive. We will not come up Cedar
There's three
Way.
roads.
Huh?
There's a Cedar Drive and Cedar Way. You live on Cedar Way.
But there's no
Right,
Cedar.
right.
There's 2 or 3 Cedar Drives in Whitney. But mine is supposed to be Cedar Way, and you go Cedar Way, Whitney, like Whitney Estates, it says Cedar Drive.
And we've had problems with Google before. What we do is we have a 911 address coordinator, an individual that's hired to go out, and go to your front gate, hit the button, say this is it. They send that stuff on in a file, special software they got, down my pay grade. They send it down to the Council of Governments, they send it on to Alphabet, who is the parent company, or to some other company as the parent company. I think Alphabet is the parent company of Google. And they wind up getting it, putting it together, they actually make it. And we've had problems with it before, but really the best way to deal with that sometimes, go down to the 911 coordinator, Mr. Flynn, and speak with her. She can get you straight on what's named what on our maps. I know that sometimes it Google varies from our maps, so.
And I've talked to him and another guy in things over the years, last 3 years. We really love some street signs showing our streets out there and stop signs. Because it's, and people out there, the smoother you make it, the faster they go. I got a speed sign 50 foot from my culvert right up, says 20 miles an hour. And I talked to a guy one day, probably run 35, 40 miles an hour. Matter of fact, I was at my mailbox and he's coming in line, and I just. I'm not a coward. I will step out in front of anything and make you stop. If you don't stop, then I got you, because you're breaking the speed limit by 20 miles.
We will talk with the sheriff's office about that, see if they got some resources they can allocate to it. Yes, ma'am.
We have been made aware of that, and I have some deputies to go out there and take a look at it, because we required it out there to the past too. And for the garbage that's in the. For the garbage and the trash.
Oh, it's all in there. I mean, is there any kind of what you call, say, law or something like that, that people should clean up their trash?
Yeah, there's anti-litter.
Especially after you move out and you leave off. I've got pictures here of some guy that did that.
And so we've kind of got our hands tied on that, and it's something we're trying to explore right now. As a county, we don't have the authority a city does. Like if you live in the city, did that city come to you, tell you?
I used to, I got out of the city.
Yeah, well, and one of the things is the county doesn't have that, a lot of that authority. So if it's on somebody's private property, with very few exceptions, we normally can't touch it. I mean, we can't tell them, we can't find them, we can't take their house, we can't impound them. There are a couple of exceptions to that rule, but they're pretty few and far between, to be frank with you. And as we move more people into this county, we're seeing more and more of this. We don't like it, just like you. We think it trashes up the place, it looks bad. So we're trying to explore what our options are, what's available to the county that we can legally do. We don't want to go beyond what we can legally do, but that's not good. But at the same time, we agree there's some pretty tragic
I got
places.
one other question,
Yes, ma'am.
and maybe they could help out some. I've already went to tax dot and actually said 225, which is $225 million lawsuit. They had a wreck on December the 5th at 1713, 933.
Oh. Yeah,
That's the one with the red light signal there.
unfortunately, the county has no authority over that, but we have gone to text out ourselves and we have requested that they tackle that at a couple other intersections that frankly are just unsafe in my mind.
I have been studying that.
Because I'm gonna stay on tax dot.
You should, we are too. So,
Because if I have to find a state attorney, I put it down there and tell them, come on out there and take a look, see,
yeah.
you know.
Well, thanks for being with us this morning. I appreciate it. Anybody else for open forum at this time? You put your 5-minute mark there. Yes, sir. Hey, what you got?
Just a couple of
Yeah.
quick comments. Dave Hesselbrock, I'm a commissioner with ESD one. For those that may not know, Ken Goins is out of town. And I hope he didn't make a mistake by sending me up here.
He didn't make a mistake. I promise you.
Just a couple of things. ESD agrees wholeheartedly with your bulk burn ban. We was a little bit iffy, but the last couple of days has taken care of that.
Yeah.
Probably any fires that we felt like may have happened due to the dry weather, it's probably gonna happen anyway now if there's a fire. I mean, there's just some things you can't control.
Yes, sir.
ESD one is, our mission is Hill County Fire Rescue. Two things that I want to just share with y'all, basically just sharing knowledge.
Yes, sir.
Most of the fire departments, because people are going to be not working that day, they're shutting down.
Mhm.
Our volunteer departments have staffing and most of them have agreed to have someone at the stations on Monday. So, you know, that will eliminate their response time to get to the station. They're gonna have people at the stations standing by.
I can't tell you how much we appreciate that, our volunteers and all they do for our county, but I think that's a
Amen.
wise plan.
The other thing too, and I don't know if it just concerns precinct 3 per se, but I think most of the people in the county are aware that Malone decided kind of some time ago that they were going to fold as a fire department. And based on the state statutes and whatnot, when a department does that, their equipment and that kind of stuff becomes property of ESD. And it's been a little bit painful, but this past weekend, we took possession of the inventory at Malone.
Okay.
We moved the trucks, we have them in a location and we got the equipment. We're going to be going through that and see what's usable and distribute it throughout. You know, we want to just not give it, we want to analyze, you know, who would best be served by having some of that equipment. Some of it's totally trash, but that's a side note. And when Ken gets back, probably the end of this week, the first part of the next week, and I don't want to directly speak to him, we plan to meet with the chiefs of the departments surrounding Malone and talk about a plan going forward. We think we have somewhat of a plan. We need to divide that area up to some degree for the best response to that. So we're hopefully going to be looking at that. We've got several other things going, but a lot of them are kind of out there, and it's kind of like, you know, which comes first, the horse or the carrot. So I'm not going to eat up a lot of time talking about those.
Well, thank you for giving us the update. I appreciate you guys coming to this meeting, letting us know what's going on. Thank you for all you do. And I know you guys are volunteers, just like our firefighters are. No one pays you to do a thankless job. What I see is thankless sometimes. So thank you from the board.
Well, Ken has told me that in the rules and regulations for the board, that we can be compensated, but none of us are. We want that money to go to our fire departments for equipment and safety. And, you know, I've been here a couple of times with Ken. If you have any questions, I will try to address them. I'm not gonna put us out on a on a limb. I want, you know, I'll be careful what I say, and I think y'all appreciate that.
Yeah, we do appreciate that.
But, you know, one other quick note, we've had some discussions with the Commissioners Court. And, you know, we was with Tom and Chris pretty good while. Kept them from doing their job. But I think the best thing for the 5 ESD commissioners on Eclipse Day
Yes, we
is to stay out of the way.
agree.
But having said that, they have Ken's phone number. Some of them have my phone number. If the commissioners can help you in any way, we will.
Thank you for that.
And with that, I'll sit down and enjoy the rest of the meeting. Thank you.
One other thing.
Yes, sir. Yeah, real quick.
Jim, would it be all right if I ride with you for like a day or something, to see what you do and where you go and see what?
All right, Larry, I really don't have time for that. I have too many things going on and too many fires to put out. I really do.
That's our job, but I used to ride on, I used to ride on the police department sometimes.
Our insurance is a little different than the police's insurance, so anybody else for open forum this morning? Going once, going twice, all right, we're gonna move into our agenda, so this time, we'll find my glasses first, so I can actually read this stuff. There we go, we're gonna talk about our consent agenda, the consent agenda this morning is action on minutes, action on invoices, payroll, action on monthly report for revenue disbursement and reserve reporting elected officials trainings. You have received emails from Juliet in the treasurer's office with the aforementioned documents. You guys got any questions regarding the consent agenda?
Make a motion.
Second.
Motion and a second to approve the consent agenda. Is there any additions, deletions, or otherwise discussion regarding the consent agenda? Hearing none, I call the question. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Any abstentions? Motion shall carry unanimously. Go. Glad that you went to the administrative training and budgeting, because I was wondering who was gonna do it this year when I gave up, so.
No problem, me and Martin will take care of this next year.
All learned up.
Yeah.
All right. Got one more, I got a fast minute to run. Moving along, we have our daily one is discuss and approve employee wage and status changes. So we have wage status changes for this day, 26th day of March 2024. Mr. Tyler Richardson with the sheriff's office has gone from the jail to patrol. Congratulations, Mr. Richardson. And we have people that have moved on. Mr. Wade Lawrence from Rosie Ridge 1 is no longer with us. New hires that are coming aboard. The wage status changes at top. I'm gonna say that wrong, Gottschalk, Kyle got with him, Kyle, new hire patrol deputy, welcome aboard Kyle. Jonathan Ockwin is a new hire patrol deputy, wonderful, John Buckley is a new hire, that's from precinct
Road
2.
Bridge.
Yeah, Broken Bridge, and Tricia Edge is a new hire dispatcher at Sheriff's Office, that's gotta be the toughest job in the county, even dispatching. But my heart goes out to those people. And that is the employee wage status change for this day.
Make a motion approved.
Second, any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, any abstentions? The ayes have it, the noes no. All right, discuss and approve the local standby letter of credit for Ash Creek Solar LLC. You guys may recall that. Originally Ash Creek Solar, which is a solar project down in precinct 3, put a letter of credit up. And anyway, that original letter of credit is now ended, and what we do is, well, I'll read this letter to you because it explains it better than I can. Dear ladies and gentlemen, by order of Ash Creek Solar LLC, the applicant Ash Creek Solar Project, Sumitomo Mitsubisi Banking Corporation, New York branch, the bank hereby issues in favor of Hill County, Texas, the beneficiary, this irrevocable standby letter of credit number. It goes on with the number. I won't read it for security purposes. For the account, the applicant for drawing up, but not to exceed the aggregate sum of $100,000. This letter of credit is available with Sumitomo was to sue Banking Corporation, New York branch by site payment all of our offices located at the address below, effective immediately, will expire, close business on the 11th day of March 2025. So the funds under this letter, basic deal is the project has sold. I've heard all kinds of rumors who the buyer is, but I don't know who the buyer is. But the project is sold, so the letter of credit that we had previously is no longer good, and this one is the replacement for that. So I'm asking that you gentlemen approve the letter of credit, up to the amount of 100,000. That way, if they do some damage and they disappear on this, we can go after that number. Part of what we did for the roads. Well, next time we'll go on it. We have a motion.
Make a motion.
We have a second. Have a motion and second to approve the letter of irrevocable standby letter of credit given to Ashby Solar LLC. Is there anything further? If not, all in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, any abstentions, motion shall carry. And here it said letters of said credit. All right, moving along. Number 3, discussion and approve bonds. We have a bond today for me. I don't know what's going on with these bonds, but something is off. We're looking into it. Why would my bonds come up now? When we did it for 4 years last time? I'm gonna ask you guys to approve this because I don't want to be running without one, but we're doing some more digging to find out what's happening here, why these keep going up. So anyway, I make a motion to approve my bond. And second, all in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, anybody wants to let me have this job, say aye. No. Okay. Is that passes? There you go.
Scotty punched you.
Yeah, Scotty punched you. That's why. All right, number 4, number 5, kind of the same deal, but different items. So for many years, when the property has been taken back by the county to the tax sale, it's not just the county, to the owner. You see at all, and others. So we're about 15% of your tax bill. If you're not paying your taxes, the school district, it's the majority share. If you're in the city gets a share. ESD has a share. Everyone's got a share. So what we've got is a particular property here, the Whitney Independent School District, and this fine property is being requested by the school district. They're going to ask us to transfer any interest we may have in it to them. And in return, what we're going to do is, this is going to go Whitney School District and us transfer it to the city of Whitney. And they will clean that property up, put the money into it, clean it up, and then try to get it back on the market. So that's the first one, is Whitney School District acting as President Board of Trustees, Hill County acting as County Judge, and the City of Whitney acting for its mayor, for any consideration of $1, another good by consideration. And with the understanding the property is to be placed in public use in the hand and paid both to the approval granting the receipt, which is hereby acknowledged to best and grant favor right title and link for the Whitney Independent School District, Hill County, in the City of Whitney. Grantor is required by the City of Whitney, Hill County, and the City of Whitney. Grantor through their foreclosure of constitution, statutory act, compacting and execution thereof on a sale date set here. The asset property be described as follows. Then you can read the property description, about 2 acres. Anyway.
So is it 4 acres or 2 acres?
Well, there's 4.
4 total?
I get the opinion reading this as 4 total, because we're talking about 2 different tracts here in the same place. That first tract being all of a certain 2.0 acres of land out of abstract 2 to 6 of the M Beach and Survey in Hill County, Texas, being more particularly described in that certain deed record, volume 684, page 85 of the deed record to Hill County. And then it lists that last number down there, is that 126374 is going to be the number of identification number, I should say. Yeah, and the second is going to be being all that certain 2 acres more or less out of abstract 26 in the tract 114 of the M Beach and Survey located in the city of Whitney, be more perfectly described in a certain deed 672 412, and a different identifying number 189. We need to create those 2 separate properties. Again, I'm in favor of this, and let me tell you why. I don't think you'll make enough money off 4 acres of land, and I'm sure this is just a real gem piece of property. It's the reason we want it. And frankly, if the city's going to clean it up and put it back on the market, I think that's the best use of it. I make a motion that we approve a tax resale deed. So we aforementioned properties in the city of Whitney, Texas. Motion is second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none. I shall call the question. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed? Any abstentions? The ayes have it. From those know it. I have to actually sign this one in front of the public, so I'm going to hang on to it, aka not try to lose it. Number 5, discuss and or approve a deed without warranty, and this is from our friends from Career South Bryan County. This is resale of tax foreclosed property. Itasca in Prince School District belongs to the city of Itasca, Newton County acquired property located in the city of Itasca before foreclosure. And what they're asking is a deed without warranty to the city of Itasca will transfer our school district transfer reserve part. This particular property is a 50% undivided interest. So not the whole property, just an undivided interest. And I don't have time to tell the whole story here, but if you ever corner Robert Meyer with delinquent tax attorneys, this is an interesting story. Anyway, long and short of it, lot 10, block 3, Heather Heights Edition, city of Itasca, Hill County, Texas, being property recorded volume 846, page 141 of official public records, Hill County, Texas. Being the same property acquired by Grand Hill from the tax foreclosure listed by Sheriff Deed volume 22875, page 45. So anyway, long and short of it, the county, along with all those other people, we own 50% undivided interest in it. Apparently, the other party may have not been properly notified, I don't know, but so anyway, Tennessee Common, you know which one that is. So anyway, they're asking us to transfer our interest to the city. Whitney, I genuinely believe it's in our best interest to do so.
Make a motion.
Second. Motion is second to transfer the aforementioned property through deed to the city of Itasca. I said city of Itasca, Texas. Is there any further discussion?
So that's not an airship situation, it's
So
notice situation probably.
So it could have been that they didn't have the right heirs, the right property owners when you noticed them. You can be a partial foreclosure if, and I'm still stunned by some of the things I learned last couple of days regarding the subject. I didn't know you could adversely possess against a co-tenant, but apparently that's the thing. Yeah, I don't know real estate law there. So, yeah, I didn't think you could adversely possess against your tenant, but you can. This one had a deed at some point in the past. There was this individual about 1903. So I'm going to tell the story of 2008. And this individual was the last time that actually property transfers found in the deed records. So after 1903, there's a bunch of kids, right? And some of these, no heir does any of the property until about 1930s or 40s. A guy dies, and in his will, he leaves an interest in property, and the administrator of that state makes an administrative deed without doing any title research. So now you've got this feral deed out there that's been on file, and frankly, it's probably gonna hold up after this late date. So anyway, it was.
That's where the adverse position comes in. Yeah.
Because they're transfer, and anyway, that was interesting to me. Anyway, so thank you for that, gentlemen. We'll move right along then this. And number 6, discuss an action preliminary plat. We are not going to have action on that today. They did not get everything they said they were going to get to us. And that brings us to number 7, everybody's favorite time of year. Discuss and action bids for county supplies, off-site and on-site fuel, oil, road materials, corrugated steel pipe, petroleum supplies, emulsions, treated lumber, all types of road-based contracts for crushing services, hauling scrap metal bids, and other supplies or services to be effective for the day of April 2004. Those bids were due in my office by 2 p.m. last Friday at 2:15. They were opened and tabulated. And what we're going to do is go through one at a time, and we can either accept them. And I think we should probably accept them individually, just the records clear what we did. I mean, it makes you right. Yeah.
That was a photo.
In terms of the scrapping of metal and whatnot, that allows us to just take scrap from.
Had we received a bid on that? Yes, sir.
Okay, so we can just take it straight to.
No, sir, we cannot.
So we saw.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go back to the folks and see why they didn't bid and what the deal was. They got a notice, I've seen the emails. I gotta work through that. I don't have an answer for you immediately, but we're gonna get that resolved shortly. Probably have to go back out to bid for that, but that's exactly what we're looking for, is not wasting time in commissioner's court to approve the sale of crunch up, rusted out culverts and scrap metal, but still have a legal way that we can transfer that on where this goes. All right, so the first bid is for bridges and box culverts. We had exactly one bid, Mr. Toby Yoder, is there a motion to approve? Second to approve the bid from Toby Yoder for bridges and box culverts. Box culverts for you guys at home being concrete.
Will we get a copy of those later for our records?
You can if you want, but
Yeah.
we're gonna do it electronically though, guys.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just let's see, we got an inventory. show their bids and all that
Well,
stuff.
yeah.
Everything's in the same spot.
No, no problem. I'm happy to do that. Oh, the other thing is, these are on file for all time and questions too. So, yeah, we'll get you that. Next is for corrugated steel culvert. We have both Wilson culverts and advanced drainage system. Since this is a road construction material, I believe that we can accept all bids based on quantity, quality, and availability. And that's my recommendation for that we do accept all bids based on quantity, quality. and
Make the motion approved.
Second, we have a motion second to approve the aforementioned bids from Wilson Culverts and Advanced Drainage System. Is there any further commentary? If not, all in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, motion carries. This is the Advanced Drainage System. Material hauling. This was odd. We got one bid this year. Yannick with construction in Cook County, so. Make a motion approved. All right. Motion and second to approve Yannick and Whitman for material hauling. It's for all precincts. This is the only one we got. Nobody sent one in. I saw the list. We did send emails out to previous bidder from the auditor's office. They just didn't.
So I think if I remember right, last year's numbers were really high on everybody.
This thing is cheap. I mean, let's just get through it. I'm not trying to hurt anybody's feelings here, but the price of nothing has gone down. You know, cost per ton, it's all the same across all 4 precincts. And it's that 0 to 10 miles, $6.60 a ton, 11 to 20 miles, $7 a ton, 21 to 30 miles, $8 a ton. Use considerably goes up to distance. So what's the next? The 41 to 50 miles? Yeah. It's $10.25 a ton. Yeah, it's expensive. What's that? I think it was $9 last year. Yeah, we can reject everything, go back out for bid too, but. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna change. Was there a motion then? Second, is there any further discussion to accept the bid for all contract group in for? If not, all in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Any abstentions? Motion approved, carried unanimously. Next one is going to be emulsions. We've got bids from P2 Emulsions, Aragon Asphalt Emulsions, Cleveland Asphalt Products, Wright Asphalt, and Texas Materials Group. Again, it's a road construction material. We can accept all bids on road construction material for the Attorney General based on quantity, quality, and availability. It's my recommendation.
Make a motion.
Motion second to accept bids for oil and emulsions from P2 Emulsions, Aragon Asphalt Emulsions, Cleveland Asphalt Products, Wright Asphalt, and Texas Materials Group. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, motion should carry. Oh, don't be good with those. These are the other. Sorry, I'm keeping them all together. I'm not doing your job for you. But you've not done yet. Once again, now we come to road base. Road base is, so again, road construction materials. We have Monarch Mountain Minerals. Yeah, Monarch Mountain Minerals, Rattler Rock, Hunter's Crushed Gold, Vulcan Materials, and Yannick and Whitman, who will put in if they sell road base.
Cemex didn't bid. You're kidding me.
No, sir. We reached out.
We did bid.
Cemex.
Cemex.
Arnold.
Yeah, Marvin on bid.
Did Arnold bid it?
No, we got Monarch,
Yeah.
Rattler, Hunter, Vulcan, and Yannick and Whitman.
Huh.
That's so.
That's a killer for me.
No doubt.
That is a killer for me.
They're putting all their faith in the fact that these solar farms are gonna keep them afloat, but you just heard it said, 2 weeks and that's out of business. And the problem Cemex has got is that once we did this, we can't buy from unless everybody else is out of luck. It's an emergency. We can come in here, we meet, we declare an emergency, then we do something. That's the only way we're gonna get them. Yeah,
Have we contacted them?
yes, sir. They were sent emails and out of the auditor's office, and we double checked on that. Because last week we were concerned that we didn't have this. So, we've got bids at untested road-based material, it's Yannick and Witness crushed concrete, just everybody's, they didn't even bring it to the paper that. Then they sell sand, so concrete sand is what they've got.
What did Connor's come in?
Oh, yeah, so let me get to that. This is Vulcan is $13 per ton for grade 1, grade 2 screenings, and then 4x8 other size is 19 a ton, and 18 by 24 is 35 a ton. I don't really understand that, how the material that's least priced is the most expensive, that, and I don't get that.
So what about the rest of them? Where's Connors?
Where's Thomas, he asked, over to Boston County?
Yeah,
Where is it?
I'm 56, what was their bid?
Oh, well, that's what I'm getting to, we're going through them right now, so this is Thomas Construction I've got in front of me. They were $9 a ton for grade one, $9 a ton for grade two, $5.50 for screenings and crusher fines. $13 for 3x5 oversized, $35 for 10 by 14, $35 for 18 by 24, and their untested road base material was $8.
They went up 75 cents on untested.
Yes, sir. Yeah, and none of this has gone down. All that's just way crazier than was last year. And we're working with limited budgets. I know everybody's prices go up, but some of this is just insane.
Yeah.
You know, we're gonna get yelled at because I'm not hauling the gravel. Well, we're not raising your taxes to get enough money to buy the gravel we need. When the gravel goes up, 10 to 15% a year, we got our hands tied. Next one's Bradley Rock. They're doing a $8 for type 1, 3x5 oversized at $9, untested base of 7.
That's a $2.75.
Yeah, because they were cheap.
For just regular road base. And in Cemex, I was getting that for $6.25. Is there not any way to try to let me go out there and try to bring them back into the game?
The only way to do it, you have to reject every bid, go back out, and you wouldn't buy any kind of material from them 30 or 45 days if we get bids down.
That's gonna not only cost rock an increase in the price, it's gonna cost an increase in fuel for me. I know you experience that all the time.
Yeah.
Welcome to our world.
Yeah.
I got a little spoiled on that, I guess.
Yeah, the last one's Monarch Mountain, and they're doing pea gravel and washed concrete sand, $12 a ton for 3/8 minus pea gravel, and $14.25 for washed.
How much is the pig?
They're $12.
And I've got,
They went up
I've got them
$1.70.
committed, I've got them committed for 1,000 tons at 10.25.
Who said it? Okay.
Trying to get that before that.
Yeah.
You got a day or two.
Yeah. That's what
I
they,
guess that's what we're gonna be doing.
we need to start on the big round before it goes up. Even though Blum didn't bid it in, can you get a price? Can he still buy rock if you don't go over 50,000?
No, sir, no, that was getting sued.
Hmm.
Because everybody put on notice, the whole world put on notice that we're gonna bid and buy rock, and they had the opportunity, these people, we have to bid and buy them. They went to the newspaper, went on the county website, and went out to the emails for everything, y'all, I was talking to most of them, I saw them. We make phone calls, we try to get people to answer, we don't have as many bids this year. And I'm not saying it's not for lack of trying, I think we put more effort into, we're concerned about it. Some new folks are here, and we want to make sure the process work. We did everything we could do at this point. This is just something we didn't get bids from.
We don't go up there very often anyway, unless Connors hadn't got it, but we usually go to Bradley anyway. But that's gonna fit them very.
Oh, it's going to have a whole bid budget for sure. All right. Well, those are the bids for road construction material. With my advice to the board that we accept all based on quality, availability.
Make a motion.
Second. Motion is second to accept the aforementioned bids for road base and road construction materials based on quality availability from Monarch Mountain, Rabbit Rock, Connors Crushed Stone, Vulcan Materials, and Young. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, any abstention, motion carries. Okay, next one is. This is for fuel for precincts. Let me clarify, because there's been confusion as inside outside. This is for fuel precincts. We do it by, as your department, like $50,000 or something, not in Sill County. Because we're separate individual offices. You guys buy a lot of fuel. The one that we've got to go back for though is kind of scary to me is we didn't get a fuel meter this time. I don't see it anywhere in here. So that's the card the sheriff's office uses. And a lot of use. So what I'm asking you to do today is to take bids for your respective precincts on on-site and off-site fuel, be it, let's explain that for the rest of the world. On-site, if you actually have fuel tanks at your barn. Off-site, if you buy it at the co-op or at Scott's Oil. That's what I mean by on-site and off-site. And you can make, and if you want to buy Scott, and you also want to also fuel to the onsite as well, because you try to do that, you got that option. I'm not talking about the fuel man card here because we don't have a bid from them, and usually it's a big old packet, and we're gonna have to get that corrected. Because that's gonna be important. Really quickly. I understand, I'm talking with you. So, you know. That's my understanding of the Russell. Well, that's well, nothing makes 4 or 5 days life great. It's somewhere after April 1st, the things are more difficult, you know? And that's what we're going to have discussion on, that what do we do? Because we don't have a bid from them. So absent having a bid from them, we're going to have to go back out for bid. And in the meantime, I hope we don't buy $50,000 worth of fuel, because if we do, it's gonna be a real problem for everybody. So anyway, all that being said, right now, I have bids for fuel for 4 precincts alone. From Scott Oil, Farmers Co-op, Dixie LP, and Itasca. Now, you may remember that we used to get bids from people, like a Big Check. A Big Check closed down business last year, so they're not doing that anymore. Myatt was another one. Myatt sold out to, I don't remember the name person sold out to. I have seen no bids from them. So what we have here is our on-site fuel and our. So we have off-site fuel will be Scott Oil, which is located in North Plum. We have Farmers Co-op located in Malone, Precinct 3, and then Dixie LP, which is located here in Hillsborough.
Yeah.
The
only thing I need offsite is the gas at, or one gas pickup and their gas engine, so.
yeah, you're not gonna buy that much of it, but all the same, you gotta, and then, you know, we have on-site fuel, but forgive me, we have on-site fuel here. We read these two, we go through this well, just the most confusing thing. And I want to do this. So Dixie LP Gas sends in their bids. And we've got a bid of transport and delivery of rack price to rack price plus 5 cents, or bobtail delivery of rack price plus 25 cents. Now, both of those apply to either gas station or diesel, no difference there. So that's fuel deliveries from Dixie LP. And that is for vendor fuel pump to vendor location without fuel management system. That'd be 305 North Waco Street. It's 15 cents a gallon over rack price that day. That's diesel and that's gasoline both. Then it gives us the offsite and fuel management services. It indicates the price. So again, this is regular unleaded diesel on road, off road. This would be where they have the card, they take care of tracking, you know, you put it in the number to mileage. Anyway, well, 15 cents per gallon of the rack price. That's for your regular unleaded diesel on road, diesel off road. And then they have the rest of their bid package in here with the certificate of eligibility. That's the bids from Dixie LP. So that's the best for last year. We got Farmers Co-op. Farmers Co-op bid is. This is fuel at their place. I read this and I try not to give you a little bit, so forgive me. This fuel at their location in Malone, Texas, and their 12-month bid is pump price per gallon.
Which pump?
That's a good question. I think that's a fair question. Pump price per gallon. So there's that. Then we have Scott Oil Company, which we have, and they put in bids for. This is the fuel management services. You know that Scott Oil has their place of business just north of Long. It's 174 there.
933.
933. Anyway, it's city of Hillsborough locations. I don't know why, but that's how we bid it, and it's $2.55 a gallon for regular unleaded. Diesel is $3.03 a gallon. Diesel off road is $3.0345 a gallon. Then this is. The Plum Avenue is rack price plus 12 cents is the second sheet they sent in. They don't bring fuel to your barn, do they?
Not yet.
Yeah, okay.
They will when I have that fuel fund set up.
Gotcha. So, this is, if you're buying it at their location, right, without a fuel management system, you're just buying it 12 cents a gallon plus rack price, and that's it. And they cross through this last sheet that they put in. Then they have a second set of sheets here in the bid as well. This is just the rest of the rest of the package that we put in for it. So yeah, you got either they call. All right, if I can ever refold this now. There we go. Perfect. So what we've got is hauling it to you at $2.55 a gallon, $3.03 a gallon, $3.03 a gallon for off-road along the same thing. And then it's just 12 cents over rack price if you pick it up at their location. I find it interesting if they did an actual amount from not the rack price for bringing it to your location, that might be the best deal you have going. So those are the bids that we got at you guys.
So I've got a question about something too. Is that even a bid?
I don't think it is. I don't think it's even going.
I have no way to know whether or not. Because if you're not even basing it on a commodity market. Plus, 15 cents or whatever.
Exactly. They started working on that, no, that's not bid. I really think we're gonna have to hold a special meeting next week sometime. Right, and we're gonna have to go back out for bid and some of the stuff. That still means that we're gonna be out into May before we get all notice and that back. We're not gonna buy $50,000 fuel in the month of May, are we?
I don't think so.
I understand, if people don't do it, what do you do? You gotta figure out a way to make things work. You can't-
Usually about 15,000 over 2 months.
Yeah.
3 months.
So
It's gonna be like you.
Depending.
the question is, how do we go out for bid in time and fashion? Still comply with the perfectly both river. But at the same time, not shut down all the bridge operations.
Is that $50,000 collective or individual to the precincts? We should be okay.
Mhm.
Should be okay.
Yeah.
That was really good there.
Whatever packet, and it's gonna be a right price. Right, it is, well, it's X number of cents over. It's my understanding. I've never seen a bid like I got their pump price.
What,
That's no.
co-op,
know how to bid it and I didn't need it.
Fair enough,
I just told her to fill it out, this, doesn't matter.
fair enough.
they don't, the co-op doesn't deliver, do
No,
No, you
no,
buy
that's
it.
outside.
they? Wow.
So,
Is that where you get all your fuel stuff?
Sir?
Is that where you get all your fuel?
No, that's my emergency backup source.
where do you get rescue fuel from?
I have on-site fuel.
Oh, do you
I
get,
buy
okay.
independent Dixie.
So that's not gonna hurt you badly. So
No.
what's okay? So then you get your fuel at a Scott, so you're good to go. You get your fuel
Dixie.
Dixie, so you're good to go. That's not a huge issue.
What about our test you mentioned?
I tested co-op, yeah. So yeah, you're right. I did not mention the last one. Just see if you're paying attention over there. That's all. All
I'm
right.
just trying to help the person to keep writing notes here.
Oh, and let that turn to do the wall here, which is fine. All right, so the Tasky Cooperative, their rack price was 22 cents a gallon. So, everybody here has got a way to do fuel at the moment, going forward, April 1st, we accept these today. We probably want to go back out for bid for your offsite. I know we're going to go back out for bid with sheriff's because.
You still got offside at Dixie out here.
We don't use it on that part.
Oh,
But I could if I had to, yeah.
But yeah, but how many miles, 20 miles north of you too?
yeah.
So, yeah,
I mean, yeah, we could have just, if we just did Dixie, that still wouldn't work for us simply because then we could go all over the state and out of state to pick up
prisoners.
I know, yeah, and I get it, I mean, again, it was, I don't understand why they didn't bid, they were sent notice of this, and asked to bid. We reviewed the vendor list, but previously, I don't.
And did each company specify which precinct you're bidding for?
No.
Or is it all for?
Oh, yeah, that's, we used to do that, we've kind of gotten away from that now, and so it's there. At one time, there was some discrepancy due to distance, but I think all that's now, it's just a delivered price now. So. All right,
Ken,
yes, sir.
one other note on that, vendor list is carried over from last year,
Yeah,
and just even front office calls were made.
yes, sir, correct.
And we were 16 on.
Yeah, no, again, they were contacted, because you know, sometimes worried about stuff, I think closer attention this year than they have in years past, because we've got some new folks, but. Had the same vendor list we had last year, so everybody that's either put in a bid or declined a bid in the last 4 or 5 years on that list, everybody we're currently doing business with on that list. Emails went out. So. At this time, I'm going to go by precinct, see if you'll take a motion for your bid, so precinct 1 in Will County. Is it your motion to accept the bid from Scott Oil?
I did make a motion to accept the bid from Scott Oil.
For both on-site and off-site?
Yes.
Okay, we have a motion for member precinct 1, accept that. Second, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, any abstentions, motion carries. Precinct number 2, you have bids for both on-site and off-site from Dixie LP. Is it your motion to accept those bids?
Makes the motion accept.
No, second. We have a motion to second for opening precinct 2 to accept bids for all off-site fuel and on-site fuel from Dixie LP. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, any abstentions, motion carries. Precinct 3, you are getting your on-site fuel from Dixie LP. Correct. And you accept the bid from them. Is that your motion? Make a motion. We have a motion for precinct 3 to accept only the on-site fuel from Dixie LP gas. So we'll social look here. I mean, maybe much more fun than what. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, abstention, motion carries. And I understand you don't do any on-site fuel, you just do off-site, and you, because your motion to accept the bid for my task, but also all fuel. So, the precinct number 4 makes a motion to accept a bid from attached to the cooperative for off-site fuel. Any further discussion? Hearing none, a couple questions, there say aye. Aye. Opposed, the abstention, motion carries. So the big elephant in the room right now is I'm going to have to put this back out for bid to the sheriff's office, because that's all there is to it. I don't have any way around. We can't, and God bless our local dealers, they're great, I like, love it. The problem is, when we're out of town, we can get fuel. That's an issue, you know, when we're on the west side, we can't go on Far East side, where do we get fuel? So we've got to go back out for this and figure out what's going on. And I'm probably going to tell you, we're going to hold a meeting next week. Which Tuesday and Monday looks like next week. Next week, Tuesday, 2nd. I don't have anything planned in the morning. If you guys do a meeting at about 8:30 next Tuesday morning, special health meeting, the purpose of said meeting will be to go back out for bid for fuel for the sheriff's office, so that we can get that corrected as soon as possible. And I'll have all the documentation ready to go by then. I think what I'm going to do is probably, I'll make some plans. All right, so, okay, so those are the bids that we have, and those are the bids that have been accepted. Thank you, gentlemen, for that. I know every year that it's more and more fun. That's being facetious. Moving on, next item on the agenda is number 8, discussion action lake control contract. Ladies and gentlemen, lake control contract as we do every year. This is where the Texas, forgive me, the Federal Corps of Engineers request that we bid for our assistance in controlling their properties around the lake. Again, the price doesn't change too much from year to year. You can see the schedules that are included in this document. But basically, I'm taking it back to that real quick. We're looking for a total about $42,090.25. Yes, sir.
And we do have discrepancies on this contract with the financial amount. But I do know it's higher than what's on the paper that you have.
Last year was like 43 change.
It's 43. But your contract shows 42. Can we just swap out that page here in a few minutes with you?
Yeah, no problem.
It'll be a little over 3 minutes. It's a little higher.
And they wanted us to do a 2-year, because there's, I didn't think that was a good idea, but share the light coming in. I think he was that was saying, you guys.
Okay, fair enough. I get no problem with that. So, yeah, well, what we'll do then is I'll make a motion that we approve, a contract with the Department of the Army U.S. Army Corps of Engineering. Yeah, I took over that one, didn't I? And the solicitation number W9126G24Q0008, that we submit a proposal to the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers for the purpose of lake patrol, and that number not to exceed $50,000.
Second.
Motion is second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, I'll call the question. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, motion carries. I'm gonna settle this through the right. Okay. Didn't mean to upset you. Moving along, number 9, discussion or action lease agreement with Xerox copier for the 911 coordinator. We need and it's 911 coordinator, but frankly, we need a copy machine at the support services building. So that's what this is going to do. This particular machine, 60-month terms. You're looking at $99.88 a month. That's $99.88 a month, which is it's it's 1 to 5,000 impressions for that price. You get up to 5,000 black and white impressions, and then the color impressions as well. So that is the proposed contract for a Xerox copier for the 911 coordinator at the support service.
Make a motion.
Yeah, motion. Yes, sir.
What are we doing with the one that's there?
Getting rid of it.
Oh, we're getting rid of it.
Yeah, he's gotta go back. I'm sorry. There's one there currently, it's out of lease, but the terms, it's got to go back. So, yeah, I should explain that better. Apologies. So.
Yeah, trouble.
I know, my mind's not in it, my heart's not in it today, I don't want to tell you. It's all this fun we're having, I can't stand it. All right, so motion second, all in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, any extensions, motion shall carry, one signed contract. And 10, discuss under action County Information Resources Agency Service Agreement. So Texas Association of County Information Resources Agency is where, that's who posts our website, have for many, many years. And we have an agreement between us and them. Have you had a chance to look at this?
No, Judge,
I'm gonna table it. I want you to look at it.
Okay.
Okay, so I asked you to take no action on this today. We'll bring it back up. Next Tuesday, could we?
yes, sir.
Cool. Number 11, discuss and approve road and bridge job descriptions. So, and number 12 is job description workshop, for road and bridge general labor position. After our last conversation, the treasurer pointed out something that's kind of important. We have a bunch of job descriptions. We didn't have a single one for labor. You know, if you're gonna hire a swamper, a chain driver, somebody that's not CDL, somebody that's not an operator, if you had a job and you had to hire somebody like that for, we didn't have a job description, so we put one together and we'll see what you guys think about that. That's item 12. Item 11 though is the road and bridge operators. So we got road and bridge operator 1, and you see these pretty well laid out. Treasurer's done a pretty good job of this, and your guys' input has been taken. So that's at pay grade 104. Road and bridge operator 2 is pay grade 105B. These both non-exempt employees. Road and bridge operator 3 is 106 non-exempt. Road and bridge operator 4 is not 4, it's 4, sorry. Road and bridge is 108, so pretty big jump.
For 4 Anderson.
Yeah, it's 4, remember to be 4 somewhere in January, December. And then administrative assistant for road and bridge number 1. Well, I mean, any road and bridge would use this administrative assistant, since you happen to have one, we need to have a job description for it.
Part-time.
It can be either.
That's the one you sent me, right?
It can be either, and then administrative assistant, general road and bridge, and that's for, this is, lots of. The cartographer, the mine one addressing coordinator, because that is under the road and bridge department, and we've got the job functions there. Deputy clerk 1, which is under 911 clerk that we have there, and that is the list of all of those.
So we didn't add a operator or trainee.
We did not, so we're hoping that's where your general labor. maybe you can start them there and then progress some.
Okay, but just that's a wide. There's a very way to do it, but none of your precincts in Snow County operate the same way. You guys are all, and you know, right, I'm not saying you have to. You're right in the law, do what you need to do for reason. We're trying to find something that's uniform that we can maintain very easily. You're going to hear later today in executive session why this is so stinking important coming up. And you're gonna hear it a couple of times why it's so important, that we have job descriptions that we can verify. I don't really see the job overall being that much different in its general terms across the precincts. How you manage your affairs day to day may be slightly different, but you all are pretty much on the same page when it comes to who you're hiring, what the job duties are, what they're up to. Maybe you run a chip seal machine, but your guys run a zipper. Maybe we work 5 8s, maybe we work 4 10s. That's okay. These job descriptions don't talk about that. This talks about generally what we should expect from an employee in any one of those positions, that they're able to do certain things. That they're, I'm not saying, hey, we got to operate a chip seal machine, we got to operate a zipper. More of a, we should have a knowledge base on how to do something or learn to do it or have experience with those things previously. We don't say the exact piece of machinery in there because that's just too narrow. I'd have to have 25. Some guy comes by and I'm going to operate a pile driver. You know what? I'm not a pile driver. I'm not going to do that. And ever go back to pile drivers again? Let's clarify that for everybody. We got through the last pile driver, about the first year I was here. I'm glad I've never seen another. So, it was there. It was right up there with the bottom three back up. So anyway, I'm getting this off track for a second, but those are the approved, it's now something else. Anyway, those are the proposed job descriptions. Again, we're looking for starting places here. We've had conversations about it. And we can change it if we don't, I'm not saying have to, we want to come back and change. I just need to get some finality before going into budget time. I've got some other job descriptions that I've still got to be in line. But we're just trying to get finality on this before budget time. And unfortunately, we're in the unique position, and I say unfortunately, we're in the unique position whereby we have to post a public meeting so all 4 of us to be in a room, more than 2 of us to be in a room to talk. And we're very strict about that. So we have to be, the law is very strict about it. So we have to have our conversations open and public, and I know it seems weird, but that's how the law is designed, and that's what we're going to do. So my question is, if you guys had a chance to look at these, that we put back actually, if so, do we have any comments?
I think they look good.
Yeah, we went through them, you looked at them all,
I think a motion.
except the general
Like I
labor.
said, you're never gonna get all 4 departments
Yeah,
to mesh it up.
Well, it's probably to be something that someone hires somewhere down the road that,
yeah,
you know.
yeah, and so
Jim and I bought those, I call them Bobcats with a grinder on it. And I think Scotty's getting ready to buy that one. And so, you know, you go back a few years ago, nobody had one of those.
exactly, and that's the issue is I don't want to put down a Bobcat operator, but Bobcat operator with mulcher certification. I'm making that one, so I haven't, you know, but it just gets too detailed. Yeah.
And operate pieces of equipment, it doesn't mean they will, doesn't mean they ever will.
Yeah,
It simply means you may use these pieces of equipment.
correct. It's kind of like other duties as assigned. It's a bit of a catch-all.
What is the motion?
Thank you very much. I have a motion and a second to approve the aforementioned job descriptions for road and bridge departments. Is there any further discussion? If not, I'll call the question. All in favor, say aye.
One point before we do that, backing you up there. We
All right.
can reformat those to put the county sale and all that.
Oh,
We do all that, okay.
Yeah, no, sorry, these are just drafts, right? If we still have other people, we don't mind to take their county stuff with us.
Now, where were you?
Yeah, I'm gonna call the question. All in favor, say aye. All opposed.
There's so many descriptions in there, you can find one of them.
Right. Sooner or later. You look like all opposed, any abstentions, motion carries. Thank you very much. That takes us on to number 12, which is the job description for the road and bridge general labor. The reason we broke this out separately is we had talked about all these previously in the workshop that we had, and we had not talked about the general labor position. But we had the conversation, you know, about trainee, about a starting position. What do we call it? What does that look like? And it looks so different for each one of the precincts. So general labor would be your lowest starting position. It could be a swamper, a guy dragging a tail chain. It could be A guy that you hired on, just want to see how he's gonna do. Maybe he's got a CDL and you want to see if he's a good driver. You know, instead of going the probationary period we talked about, because that's somewhat difficult for us, legally speaking.
So go for.
Yeah, it's it's a pay grade 100 gopher is what it is. And so this one, this is a non-exempt, this is a full-time regular position. And we could say this is cross-trained positions in office, so these are central job functions. Cross-trained positions in office, be prepared to perform other duties assigned. Capable of participate in continuing education and maintains inventory, spare parts, tool related material. That is like the most base job description ever. We actually need to add to that can't be the end of that. And we don't have to do this today. They don't have to do this one today. I just want to introduce it to everybody today, send you home copies to think about it, and kind of let you know what we were thinking. And I'm not saying this is the way it has to be, gentlemen. Just here's a starting position. After listening to your concerns last time, the treasurer got back with me and she said, hey, why don't we do a general labor as a starting position? And that way it can cover a really wide field. And if you got a guy you bring in as general labor and you do whatever, you 3 months, 90 days, whatever it is you guys do in each precinct, then you can move him up to your next spot if he works out the way you want him to.
Started the general labor 100, which is our lowest entry level base, at $17.28 an hour. You jump to a 2, it just goes up 5%, $19 to 10. And then with their existing job description, you would jump to a 104 as operator 1. So there's a significant jump between a general labor 2 and an operator 1, which over.
We're gonna have one general labor category.
No, two. So two. So the idea is, if you hire, my personal opinion, in my opinion, if you're on the fence about a guy, but you want to try him out, bring him in lower, and maybe he's got a CDL driver, you hire him at a swamper's pay, he's gonna last about 3 days, or that long, he's gonna go. You can have, always say, well, this is my lowest, here's my second offering, and that's what you're gonna do until you prove to me. That's just one way of looking at it. We don't have to do it that way. The other thing is, I would like this general laborer, the lowest one, I'd like it to apply to part-time and full-time. That way, if you just needed to hire a part-time guy for a job, you had to pick up limbs on the side of the road or whatever it was, that you would have a job description that could cover both part-time and full-time, and just general labor job description. Again, this is just introducing these concepts today. I'm not asking for action on it. I'm just asking for some commentary, because we are limited how we can speak with each other about items. And just put your thoughts to it, you know, put your thinking caps on.
It's based on the commissioner's feedback.
Yes.
Somebody can say, I'm gonna put like a 6-month probationary period and see how strong they get on the regs. If you hire them in at 1 or 2 general labor, they do that room in 6 months or a year after they've proven themselves to do that job.
I think we have to combine these and just have them.
Okay.
We've already got 6 categories to keep up with. And 6 descriptions, and the ladder just keeps getting taller. So if we combine these into one and apply the same concept as, and this is a trainee, and call it a 102, and just bring them in, and you can put them on whatever probationary period you want. But then if they've got CDL, you can move them straight to operator one.
Yeah, it said, we just putting ideas out there, and one of it is, if we had to hire a part-time, I think we had to do that maybe one time in an emergency situation. And it does 15 to 40 days with your precinct once, I think you under some. Small, yeah, temporary labor. They move. I don't think they're operating chainsaw. I literally think they were out there moving trees. Maybe
Well, that'd be my thought, is if we combine that into one, just have one.
What do you guys think?
Worse than what we're having for lunch.
Fair enough. Okay. All right then.
Obviously, let's talk about something with Parliament.
Okay, well, do me a favor, take these home, and if you would, send an email back to the treasurer, let me know what your preferences are. And if your job duties, anything like that, that's everybody's homework assignment. So I appreciate that. Thanks for giving us a start. That's very important. Appreciate it. All right, moving along, number 13 is pursuant to Texas Government Code Chapter 55107, the Hill County Commission will convene an executive session for consultation with our attorney. So at this time, if we can clear the courtroom, we'll be back in open session. I have to 30 minutes or so. You're welcome to come back at that time. And so now, since we're about
Good to see you. How's everything going for you? Awesome.